Hey YouTube, my name is Tyler Johnson. I am a chess player, about 1500 rated. I'm making this video because I want to start improving on chess and just kind of get a community that also wants to improve on chess and just have a good time playing chess. Um, I noticed I've been just making a few videos, and I noticed that one of the last videos I made was about queens coming out early, and that one seemed to resonate a lot more with people. I have another game here that I'm about to show that is me playing as black, where the queen comes out early. So I'm going to kind of analyze the game, show you kind of what I did to beat this player. I ended up trapping the queen, um, which was kind of funny, but let's just get right into that. All right. Here we have the game. It was against a 1447. They started off by playing, one second. They started off by playing e4. I am a Sicilian player, so my first move normally goes c5. And then they immediately brought the queen out, which, as you can see, it's an inaccuracy. It's actually kind of silly to bring the queen out this early. They're trying to do some scholars mate by bringing the bishop here and hoping you just don't pay attention to this pawn, and they just bring the queen here. Obviously, if you're watching this, or if you want to know how to beat this, the first move in this situation that you want to do is just bring the knight out. Not only are you targeting this queen, but you're also targeting the pawn. Now it forces them to have to break chess principles and move piece multiple times right in the opening. This is kind of bad. This gives you tempo. As you can see already by the analyst bar, it's already showing black favoring black. So they come back. It's another inaccuracy. I go ahead and just develop my other knight. At this point, we're already 1 point ahead, even though we're 3 moves into the game. They bring their bishop out because they are still trying to find some way to checkmate us here on this f pawn. We're not going to allow that. We bring the knight in to double attack both of these. It shows this is an inaccuracy, but honestly, it's kind of whatever. It drops you 0.7, as you can see up here. It doesn't mean a whole lot, especially at this rating. As you get higher level, I don't even think you're going to deal with this as much. People don't seem to do this. Um, so they end up bringing the queen over here because, again, they consistently want to target this. So I take the pawn. I go, okay, go for it. I have this knight here that's protecting this. If they do take it, we're just trading pieces. There's nothing. I'm just up a solid pawn. As you can see still, it's 1.8. So they go to attack my knight. I actually thought about this for a little bit afterwards, and I was like, can I take this? The answer is no. Apparently it's an inaccuracy. So if you were to take this, the move that it is telling him to make next is just bring the queen here. Queen takes c4. This is still under threat. You're still, they still got a nice little pawn chain. The bishop can come out. This just isn't the way to go. What I ended up doing in the game was I brought the knight out. I was like, all right, we're just not gonna get threatened. They move the bishop here. They just want to keep targeting this. They want to make it difficult for me to do anything with this bishop. They don't want me to develop like this, to do this. So what I end up doing is I just kick the bishop out, allow my dark square bishop to start being able to get active, and now has defense on this. So they move back. This is when I decide to take the bishop. Not only does it stop any threats of him trying to do anything on this pawn, now he's one less piece. It does give him an opportunity to develop his knight and allow him to castle faster, which I do believe in the game, yep, that's what he does. So that is a downside to that, but you now have the bishop pair, which in the end game, when there's open lines, ends up becoming an advantage against the knights. We don't see it yet, but I think we will here in just a little bit. So I developed the bishop because I also want to castle kingside. That's my hope. He brings the knight out instead of castling, which It's not a bad move. It's developing. And as you can see, still we still have about a 2 point advantage because of all the nonsense this opponent did with the queen. Like that really messes them up in the opening. So we both castle. I move my knight out because my intentions is I just want a big center. Let's just start getting the big center to where it's just hard for your opponent to maneuver. So he develops the rook, which is makes sense. Just putting it on a semi-open file. I get my big center. It prevents him from staring this way a little bit more. There's no potential tricks or traps here, even though I don't think there really was to begin with. So he just kind of does a waiting move, it looks like. I don't really know what that move was supposed to do. I immediately push my d-pawn to attack the knight. I just want that knight to be uncomfortable. I want it to be out from where it's at. He moves it into the center. I just kind of make this pawn chain better. As you can see during all this starts to make this queen a little uncomfortable. It's slowly starting to run out of squares. It has 3 as of right now that it can go to, but this eventually plays a role. So he does another waiting move. I put my bishop on the best diagonal I've encountered it. So now it has this huge line of sight down this whole area. Also, it allows my rooks to start being free and being able to move along the back rank. So he develops his bishop with the same ideas. It connects the rooks. The bishop's on a pretty decent diagonal. It prevents anything from blocking this square. I bring my bishop out to attack the queen, developing, well, not really developing, but putting a piece in the center, making it just more annoying. He brings his queen down, which this is a really big mistake. As you can see, that's like the only square besides this one that he can go to as of right now. So I see this in the game, and I actually push this pawn because I'm like, okay, we're just gonna make him uncomfortable. Like that's the only square he can go to. So he goes back, and looking at this, he can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go to any of these squares. Like this queen's pretty much trapped at this point. So I see this, and man, what is he gonna do about it? He tries to free his queen by attacking my bishop. To me, the queen is obviously worth way more than my bishop. I'm not even caring about that bishop if I can just do this. So right now, I already have 5 points of advantage, and it's all because this opponent decided he wanted to move his queen out on move 2. Like, this is why this is so bad. You can get a huge development against this. He takes my bishop. It's fine. I take with the pawn. This is the best move. I thought about taking with this too, but it feels cluttered. Doing it this way, it allows you to bring your rook out. And now you got an open file. It pushes this knight out of its little stronghold that it's in. And so now it forces him to move. So this file is going to end up being fully open for my rook to contest. So he moves out. I just take it. At this point, I'm up so much material that trades are like my best friend right now. Like, you want to do trades because of this. So he takes back. I bring my queen out just to kind of target this pawn, its weakness. And it also opens up my rooks to kind of do whatever I want them to do. It makes them look at each other. They're connected. He takes a pawn. Okay, that's fine. I take a pawn as well. I still have this glob of pawns right here in the center that if this leaves, they're just going to start marching. It's going to be very, very uncomfortable for white to do anything about it. He ends up bringing his rook back. Okay. I now contest the open file because, I mean, that rook wasn't really doing a whole lot. You could argue this rook's not doing a whole lot either. The reason why I didn't consider this rook here, it really makes the F rook uncomfortable here. Like, it has nothing. And honestly, this rook probably wants to be on the B file just because that's another open file. But then he brings his bishop out, targeting this pawn. Yeah, it's not a terrible move. It just kind of wants to make my pawns isolated. Makes sense. I take the rook just because, trading. If you're up this much material, trade pieces off. It prevents your opponent from being able to do anything. As long as you're not obviously losing something. This is a good trade just because it forces your opponent to have to do something about it because it puts the king in check. So he takes back. I take the outside A pawn, which simultaneously defends the pawn that he's targeting. And that was kind of my plan of why I wanted to trade those rooks off as well. Just that it gives me more material and I protect stuff. And I'm also having eyes on this pawn. So eventually, I can start marching. So he attacks this pawn. I personally wouldn't, just because now your back rank's starting to get kind of weak. Yeah, you can't do any checkmates yet, but it's I don't know. I don't think that's a good move. Granted, there isn't really a whole lot your opponent can do at this point, so for what they have, that's probably the best that they can get. It says rook e7 is what it really wants. I take the pawn because it's like, okay, I'm just gonna start getting this opened up. I can now throw this up down the board. This will eventually start to go. I also thought he probably will take that. I don't see why he wouldn't. He didn't. He ended up taking this pawn, which I personally think was a mistake. I think that's a mistake. The computer thinks it's okay. I think it's a mistake because you can just start moving. Even, yeah, it becomes very hard to do anything in this situation. I then pin the bishop to the rook, preventing him from even doing this at this point, because then I'll just take the rook and that's just better material for me. So he goes here, he attacks my queen. I think he wants to dislodge it for some reason. I don't know. That, to me, is also kind of a weird move. I just move it out of the way. I am now attacking 2 pieces. Arguably, that's defended, but that rook's stuck. It's not going anywhere. He's losing it. It doesn't matter what he does. He's gonna lose it. And at this point, my opponent just abandoned. But that's kind of why you get a really bad position, and it's like right off the bat, just within 2 moves, the computer already favors black just because of all this. Like it is so crazy how you can just start bullying your opponent if they move the queen out. If you guys have any suggestions, if you got to this point, I should say, thank you for watching all of this. Appreciate it. I'm going to try to do more content like this. I myself am still trying to learn. So if any feedback could be given to improve, I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys just want to play any games as well, I play constantly. I'm also willing to help people learn. I also plan on joining I don't plan, I already am. I joined the Russian chess school. So eventually I'll give some feedback on my thoughts on that and how that helps me. I have also subscribed to Chessly, which is a Gotham chess website. Highly recommend, by the way. That I'm not even sponsored or anything by them. I just find that to be very, very useful information. If you're trying to figure out an opening you want to work on and you kind of want to understand the concepts of the opening, that's a good area to start. If you want to start learning fundamentals, from my understanding, the Russian chess school is really good too. Like they just start helping you understand principles. But yeah, that was pretty much it. If you guys want to see more of this, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Later.